So we've heard from Nikki Haley.
Yep.
We want to go to Malcolm Johnson. He is in Nashua at the Trump headquarters, so we will be waiting. Malcolm, have you heard any rumblings of when we may hear from former President Donald Trump?
No indications at this point as to when we will hear from the former president, but we are expecting him to take the stage at some point this evening. There was a loud roar from the applause and the many people that are here this evening after the former president was declared the victor here in New Hampshire. We are still waiting to hear from him tonight, but we have seen many different elected officials locally, statewide, and on a federal level as well. Senator Tim Scott, Marjorie Taylor Greene, many of them supporters and endorsers of Donald Trump. Now, we have been talking to voters about whether or not there was ever a second candidate that they'd support, and most of them say no, as these are some of the stronger Trump supporters attending an invite-only party here tonight. Some voters did say that they would have backed Ron DeSantis, while many believe Nikki Haley's campaign is funded and supported by Democrats. Now, from small towns to larger cities here, voters care most about border security and the economy. And even if Trump is a convicted felon, he is the candidate that they would support. Among those supporters would be Vivek Ramaswamy. I asked the former presidential candidate about Trump's legal battles. Should the president become the nominee, as he is expected to do, he's facing some 92 criminal counts against him, 4 indictments. How could that influence his job if he is to become president?
Look, I think a lot of these indictments are politicized. I think all of them are politicized persecutions. I think they're wrong. I think he'll be acquitted on all of them. It's shameful that the country has to go through this. But I do think that everyday Americans, frankly, not just Republicans, independents, and even some Democrats, are sick of just swallowing what they've been force-fed by the mainstream media. They're seeing through a lot of this politicization for what it is. I think a lot of independent media is directly reaching people with hard truths that the mainstream media isn't reporting. And so I'm confident that this is actually going to help propel Donald Trump not only to victory, but more importantly for us to reunite this country.
All right, that was former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy that you just heard from there. I'm holding my hand to my earpiece because it's so loud inside of this ballroom. Again, we are still waiting to hear from Donald Trump. Not exactly sure what time he will take the stage here tonight, but the passion and the support from everyone here is really at a high level. Again, some of the Trump loyalists and the supporters and surrogates, you've heard from them this evening. You'll continue to hear from them throughout the remainder of the night. I also got a chance to speak with Vivek Ramaswamy about some of the issues that he saw here in New Hampshire along the campaign trail. He talked about the drug issues that this state has seen and the epidemic over the years. He also talked about the many veterans and there needing to be a veterans hospital here. He says he feels like Trump is the candidate who could help get that done within this state. We'll continue to keep you all updated as things continue to play out here this evening. But again, a lot of excitement in this room once Trump was declared the winner in New Hampshire. We're live reporting in Nashua. I'm Malcolm Johnson, NBC 10 Boston.